Ziad, welcome to the show, man. How does it feel to be Ziad today?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. I would say I'm blessed. It feels great to be Ziad today.
That's amazing. And it looks like we've got some sun reflecting off the windows. I see you're in your office. Where are you coming to us from today?
So I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Get out. You are so close. I am in Rock Hill. This is the same sunshine we're seeing here for sure.
Oh,
That's
that's
very
awesome.
cool.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. Yes, I've been here for almost 10 years now.
Awesome. So you've probably seen some massive growth in the Charlotte market in 10 years.
Absolutely. It is impressive. When I came here in 2016, everybody was telling me that 10 years prior to that, the growth they had witnessed was amazing. And I could say the same between 2016 and now, almost 10 years, same thing. It's unbelievable. The buildings, the condo apartments, the offices, everything is booming. So it's
Yeah.
super exciting to be here. It's a
Very
beautiful city too.
Yeah. And it's just expanding, expanding, expanding. Before we get too far into real estate here, Ziad, let's talk a little bit about your unique medical career. Tell us a little bit about where you started and where you're at now.
Sure. So I'm a neurosurgeon. I'm the head of cranial neurosurgery for the Novant Health Greater Charlotte region. Novant Health is a big health system made of many hospitals in the Carolinas, and that's expanding. And so I'm the head of the brain surgery program for the Greater Charlotte region. I've been here since 2016. My journey in medicine started as a child. My dad and his brother, my uncle, both were physicians. My dad, medical oncologist, and my uncle, a radiation oncologist. So growing up, I was immersed in that constant, medical environment. My dad sometimes used to take me with him to his private clinic. Sometimes we used to see patients together whenever they would be willing to do that. So from a very early age, anybody that would ask me, even single digits age, I would say I wanted to become a doctor. Now, I didn't know what kind of doctor, but as I grew and matured, I felt like my love for medicine was intense. However, I knew I wanted to be a surgeon as opposed to what my dad did, which was more of a regular medical doctor. I wanted to be able to be a physician and do things with my hands. And so I kind of knew that I wanted to become a surgeon. So I was debating between different type of surgical specialties, but ultimately I honed down on neurosurgery because my pursuit for surgery led me to a research position in neurosurgery at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago. And my two mentors, who are top brain surgeons in the world, I was so lucky to be mentored by them. Basically made me fall in love with neurosurgery. That's how I transitioned from not knowing what to do in surgery to become a neurosurgeon. I ended up doing my training in neurosurgery and my subspecialty training with what we call a fellowship in cerebrovascular, endovascular, and skull-based neurosurgery. So I subspecialized in the blood vessels of the brain, tough to get to brain tumors, in Chicago, at the University of Illinois in Chicago. And once I finished my training, I came here and took the position. Conflict of interest is a big deal in medicine, especially as a surgeon, because the federal law has it that I cannot put myself in a situation where I am prescribing treatment to a patient that may enhance my income. So it's a very fine line that you have to always protect yourself from. So I can't be in a situation where I am, prescribing treatment or, doing financial ventures or have any type of, a stake in a certain device that I'm using on a patient. You have to disclose constantly conflict of interest to the hospital for where you work, or if you go to a major society event and you're presenting. Second slide after the title slide is the conflict of interest slide, and you have to disclose all of that. So it is a little difficult to do that. Anytime you have financial stakes in a product, you have to be cautious how you how you move forward with that. I think first and foremost, if a physician can feel more comfortable venturing in those types of businesses without feeling, as you said, the high risk situation. The only reason I get involved in my job in high risk, high reward situations, which would be a very tough tumor or brain aneurysm, and I would save the patient's life, is because I've studied 20 years for it. Mm-hmm. And I've trained, and life has given me that experience. I think in my mind, the only way to do that is to allow physicians to get educated into what they're getting themselves into. And so I think podcasts like this, or people like yourself that are knowledgeable in the field, that are maybe putting out podcasts that potentially make it understandable and easier for physicians like me to understand the market, to understand the process, and maybe be less kind of afraid, if you may, or worried about venturing into something like this. I think by having conversations like this, where people can listen to this interaction that we have, they can hear my concerns as a physician, and they can hear your reassurance as a specialist in your field, and I think that'd be the best way to do it. Which I'm assuming this is why we're doing this right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, just opening up, it's just that, like, why the podcast was created, how it was created, my journey from the outside in, not being a physician, but getting to speak with a lot of physicians, and just echoing that idea. It's like, hey, this is not rocket science. This is not brain surgery, right? This is, yes. If hey, worst thing ever happens, Ziad, something goes wrong, guess what? Everybody is still going to be here tomorrow to learn from that mistake, right? So it's nowhere near the risk piece that we feel that it is. But having beat that one down, the last piece is time. How do we overcome that? That's where, again, expanding associations, leveraging relationships, leveraging technology, leveraging certain things that allows us to exponentially increase, these quantum leaps of what we can do. I think it's what we can do together is the big piece. But you have to be working with people that you trust.
So a couple of things. I think number one, usually you have to follow your intuition. Especially physicians that have studied, even though they may not have studied real estate, but you have developed over the years a certain judgment. Based on education, based on, a lot of things that life threw at you. And so I think this gives you enough of a judgment to be able to tell, this may be something I should be able to pursue, the gut feeling, I think. What I would want to say, though, is that it doesn't have to be a massive venture to start with, right? I think I do have a couple of people I've worked with, neurosurgeons, that have had substantial experience in real estate. They actually have a good amount of their passive income coming from real estate, either buildings they've acquired in different states that they're being rented or things like that. And so they have that constant stream of income that they don't have to really work for. It's just you're sleeping, you're making money, basically, type of deal. But what they tell you is start slow. Like, you don't have to make a $1 million investment. You may want to invest with a group of people that you trust, as you said, because trust is important. And go in for $100, $150, maybe $200,000, and slowly but surely build your portfolio. I think this is the way to do it. And I've talked to these people, and I've convinced that I should be doing that. I just haven't done it yet, but I think it's probably imminent.